Atlanta is home to a booming real estate market, but we can't forget that part of the appeal is the style and class that defines Atlanta's most luxurious homes. For nearly 2 decades, Highland Forge has been working closely with thousands of designers and architects to create customer drapery and hardware that has become a trademark of leading designs and sought-after aesthetic. I am Dr. Ian Toppin, and I'm excited to introduce you to a company that is not only our neighbor, but is committed to sourcing talent right here at ATC. On this installment of Atlanta Tech Talks podcast, we will hear from Ford Kinzey, a co-owner at Highland Forge, who helps create timeless drapery hardware that has been featured in major home decor publications and celebrated by homeowners near and far. Take a listen as HGTV meets ATC on Atlanta Tech Talks.
Welcome to Atlanta Tech Talks podcast. I'm your host, Jason Warner, and this is season 2. We're excited to bring you the people, partnerships, and programs that move the Atlanta region forward, as well as Atlanta Technical College. We have a great show today. It's HGTV meets ATC. And we have Ford Kinzey with Highland Forge. Ford, talk to us about what you guys do at Highland Forge. You're a drapery company.
That's right.
That's right next door.
Right next door, 2 miles down the road. First of all, thanks, Jason, for having me on today.
Awesome.
Excited to be here. So we make custom drapery hardware, like you said. We don't, we make the metal, the rods, and the hardware that you would hang curtains or drapes from. We don't make the actual fabric, but so we make custom-made, very strong, very sturdy, very beautiful drapery hardware. You might see, know if you walk into a Walmart or a Home Depot, the typical curtain rods you would find. They're usually like the extendable kind, called telescoping, and those, can work well because they fit so many different windows, but they're usually really weak. They have that little notch in the middle, people
with the plastic
call all the time. Yeah, they're calling all the time, being like, I'm just sick of having to, deal with that notch in the middle where the telescoping part joins. And so, for us, we're making, it's custom made for our customers' windows. So it'll fit, exactly to their specifications. We get, all sorts of different like double rods or corner rods, or people have a, 20-foot sliding door that they need to cover. And you're not going to find that in a big box retail. So they come to us for something that's really strong, that's really pretty. It's going to last a long time, and it's made with a lot of care.
So listen, there's a business for everything. Right?
Yeah.
Like, how did you guys think of getting into the custom drapery hardware business?
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, no, great question. So, a little history of Highland Forge was actually started back in 2005.
Okay.
And it's been, down the street ever, for 17 years. Myself and my business partner, Mark, we actually bought the company a little over a year ago from the founder. We saw a ton of opportunity in it. We saw an amazing product and opportunity to grow the business. So that's how we got into it. I personally didn't have a background in drapery hardware, but I've learned from our great employees over the last year. And still learning a lot, but we see a huge opportunity to continue growing as we are, maybe move into other types of hardware down the road.
That was a great segue because you talked about getting into this business and you have some great employees that do some amazing work, right?
Yeah.
So talk to us about what the catalyst was to partner with ATC and to source talent right here on the campus.
Yeah, we were trying to develop a good pipeline of talent, of people who are interested in working with metal. We just kind of started looking around at different schools. We were tired of just using like Indeed or Facebook to find applicants. We wanted more of a kind of sustainable pipeline where we could build a relationship. And started talking to Mario White, the employee relations manager here at Atlanta Technical. And it just made complete sense. It's kind of a symbiotic relationship where, we can bring students in after their classes are done during the day. So they work with us in the afternoon while they're in class in the morning. And they kind of learn that real world work environment where we have paying customers and we have to, work on a pretty tight schedule. And then they come back to the classroom and they can kind of hone in their skills before, coming back to us in the afternoon, and then we've built a relationship with the welding instructor, Jay. And I think over the years, we'll be able to give each other feedback on, things that he could implement into his class, and then things that we could be doing differently in our shop. But yeah, so, we have our first intern, actually, Melvin Page, who started beginning of March.
Awesome.
So he's been with us for a few months, and he's been a rock star, and he'll be coming on full time in about a month.
Oh, we love that. We love to hear those success stories, Yeah. So, you touched on that partnership place, right? But when most people think of welding, they think of that hard, the construction industrial look, right? But you guys put an artistic look or touch on the welding, right? So what should a prospective student think about when they're looking to get into the welding field, but with that artistic flavor?
Yeah, no, great question. Something that we always talk to our employees about is taking pride in your work. Because you're right, there is a kind of rough and dirty side to it, which you just can't avoid. But the end product is beautiful. It's really pretty by the time it leaves our shop. And it's pretty cool to see. We'll get our raw material, just 24-foot lengths of rough-looking steel tube, and then by the time it leaves to go to the customer, it's this beautifully powder coated, smooth, clean product. And so I think. For our employees to really take pride in their work and to want to produce a product that's beautiful, is something that's really important, And if you were to see the conversations we have around our quality control table, you would think we're crazy because, we're pointing out these things that by the time drapery hardware is put up on the wall, 10 feet up on the wall, no one's ever going to notice it. But, we're pointing out little like specks or little how the bead on the weld looks and that kind of thing. So, we were very attention to detail and we, want to take pride in that work. Because, you put your name on something when you ship it out, you have paying customers that expect a high quality product and we want to deliver it.
I mean, again, when people are paying for custom, right, we're in Atlanta. We have the luxurious homes. We have, Hollywood of the South. So the rich and famous are coming here and their clientele are folks that want some high quality stuff. So we wouldn't expect any less. And you talk about that attention to detail. One of the things that we ask all our guests on the show is to leave our guests with our audience with a success tip.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to be from a Highland Forge success tip because you said you're in as the new owner. Right? But it could be a success tip that you found throughout life. You talked a little bit about attention to detail, but what can you tell our viewing audience, leave them with some words of success? Yeah,
so mine's pretty simple. It's do what you say you're going to do. That's something that, we want people who are skilled, who are working with us. But, if you're not dependable or reliable, or if you're always saying you're going to do something you don't, the skill set doesn't really matter at that point, So, whether it's at working for us or someone else or, just in general life, I think if you just do what you say you're going to do, and if you can't, then tell people ahead of time. That is just it kind of sets you apart, I think. Awesome. I love it. Manage expectations. Do what you say you're going to do. That's right. So before we leave, tell folks how they can find out more about Highland Forge and the things that you do, and potentially if it's a student saying, "Hey, I want to get into that internship pipeline," or what have you. So talk about that a little bit. Absolutely. So we have a website. It's highlandforge.com. That's where we sell our products through. You can find our phone number there also. So absolutely give us a call, or, if you're an Atlanta technical student and you're interested in reaching out to us, talk to Jay, the welding instructor, or Mario White, the employer relations manager, and they'll put you in touch with us. But, we love to talk to all the students here and see if it could be a fit. Oh, awesome, Ford. I truly appreciate it. I've learned something, right? Because, anytime I thought about welding, I thought about big skyscrapers and all this, but there's some real detail and some artistry that goes into it. So we truly appreciate the work that you're doing, the partnership that you've established here at Atlanta Technical College, and do what you say you're going to do. I really like that. So I'm asking you to do something. I'm asking you guys to like, subscribe,
share with somebody. Tell somebody about the Atlanta Tech Talk podcast. I'd like to thank our guest, Ford Kinzey with Highland Forge. And also, if you want to find out more about Atlanta Technical College, visit atlantatech.edu. Special shout out to Dr. Victoria Seals for putting this on, right? We're showing you what happens right here about the people, the partnerships, and the programs at Atlanta Technical College. It's a super exciting journey, and hope to see you next time. I'm Jason Warner. This is Atlanta Tech Talks.